to another episode of the Adventures of the Albino Rhino. James is once again out gallivanting amongst his film people because, 1 in 4 people actually seems to be able to work right now that are in gig jobs. So good for him. But today we got another comedian coming to you. Another comedian from around the world. We got a fella named Liam. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a good little introduction, where you're from, what you do, why you do it. Do you pee sitting up or sitting down? I mean, just, what you want people to know, bro,
I mean, yeah, I was going to say the piece sitting up, sitting down. I mean, how much time you got? But yeah, my name's Liam Radi. I'm a comedian out here in Melbourne, in Australia. Yeah, I've been doing comedy for maybe a year, pretty much since I left high school. Been out of high school a year and a half now. So yeah, actually a year and a half. But mainly only doing gigs on stage for a year because it's been maybe 6 or 7 months now since we've all been locked down. So I haven't done a gig in a long time, like most of us. But yeah, been doing comedy out here in Melbourne. We've got a pretty good comedy scene out here, probably the strongest one in Australia, I think. I think that's fair to say. We got a good comedy festival out here. So yeah, and to answer your question, Matt, about peeing up or peeing sitting down, listen, I think if you're at home and you've got track pants on or something with no fly, there's no shame. And I know that's a controversial statement, but I think it's fair to say there's no shame in the matter.
I mean, sometimes you just got to take a break, and
Exactly, you got to
when
treat
you can
yourself.
two things at once, that's just, it's like walking and chewing gum, man. Sometimes you just got to pop squat and just chill for a minute. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. So you guys are, you guys don't have, where are you guys at in your whole coronavirus experience down there? I mean, are you guys like still quarantined to the house or small gatherings? Where you at? How are you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in the state of Victoria where I live, where Melbourne is. We're in what's called a stage 4. So we were originally very comfortable. We kind of all just went into lockdown. Kids could still go to school, colleges and the like were shut, but most people could still go to work. Most people could still go to school. Our state was doing pretty well amongst the rest of the country. We had only had about maybe 100. I think that there was either like 100 cases at one point, and then slowly it turned into 100 deaths. So we were pretty okay. But then once they kind of let everyone back out slowly, things got really bad, and we started having 700 cases a day, 600, whatever it was, and people were like, "This is crazy." And our state became far worse than the rest of the country. So our state's been pretty much locked off from the rest of the world. The rest of the world. What am I saying? We're not that big of a deal. The rest of the country, I should say. So yeah, we've been having some crazy numbers for Australia, and the rest of the country hates us. I think that's fair to say. But yeah, we're just
That's
going
awesome.
about things as regular. Comedy stopped pretty much straight away in March. Our international comedy festival is in March, and it's the biggest time of the year for us. So to lose that 2 weeks out was a bit of a shame. But nothing's changed since then for comedy.
That's really, really awful. Are they treating you guys like they are the Kiwis over there in New Zealand, where like they can't even buy alcohol or anything right now? It's just like, nah, fuck you. And you're like, what? I can't even like sit in my house and drink?
Yeah, well, that was one of the first questions everybody wanted to know. Because like there is a fair drinking culture out here, just like there is over in the States. So we were like, can we? And politicians specifically were like, we will check that for you because we understand that is a very serious issue. And we can go. So we can go shopping. Like one person from each household can go shopping once a day. And I think in that, alcohol and groceries is mainly the two things people need. And I say need. I say need with severity.
Yeah, well,
And
when you're locked down like that, man. I mean, what the fuck else do you? I noticed myself like 2 weeks before we were allowed to go back to work here. I was like, I need to dry out. Yeah, that was too much. That was probably way too
I feel that, yeah. I
much.
absolutely feel that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's been an essential service the whole time, and I think it will stay that way.
Yeah, it's a lot of the way we've handled it's been just weird. And I mean, like, I kind of wonder what the rest of the world's thinking. I mean, and some of it you got, the rest of the world may not be aware of. But like one of my favorite things that's been going on is in the state of Ohio that I live in,
Mm.
cannabis being a medical product is considered an essential business. So the entire time, if you wanted to get some weed and you were prescribed it, you were good to go. but it's still federally illegal.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
interesting.
so funny. And they were like, "No, we're not shutting down the liquor stores, but you can't go to church or AA meetings." Uh,
Yeah. Is that a
so
tourism thing? I've always wondered, like with cannabis, is there some states where like people be like, let's go to Ohio or to Denver for a weekend
I
and just
mean,
do
there
it?
are now that there's a couple states that have gone completely recreational, based on age.
Mm.
It's definitely become a thing. But there's also a wonderful thing where, like, the police in the surrounding states will just wait for you to cross back over into their state because
Man, that's crazy.
yeah, it's weird. So, like, in Colorado it's recreationally legal, and as long as you're Colorado, you're good, right? Well, as soon as you cross, like, over into Kansas, let's say, which is the next state over, you've
Mm.
not only broken a federal law by taking whatever cannabis you happen to still have over a state line, but then you're breaking Kansas law because they're not a recreational state. So it's like you go from being completely clean and clear to whammy. And
Wow.
yeah, it's a diverse country. This
Yeah.
America, like I don't know if a lot of people in the world actually understand like how hodgepodged we really are. You know,
Right.
and that's creates a huge problem, as you can see, and our government certainly exploits it. So yeah,
Yeah,
good
I
times.
was wondering about that because as like I know from whenever I've been somewhere in the rest of the world because I've been to America and I loved it. Like it's a great place. When I was there when I was a kid and I had a great time. I mean, and saying that I'm not just talking about the Disney worlds and the tour in Central Park and whatnot, but like I think there's a lot, like free refills blew my mind. I just put that out there. Like when I went there and they're like, "Do you want another?" And I was like, "For free?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is a land of great opportunity." Like they're not kidding.
Well, we're
Like
fat
it's
for a reason, man. It's like,
oh
oh, you want
uh,
more? You want
yeah,
more? Okay.
it was amazing. They're like, and like they give you the straw, and the top would be covered still in the thing. Like in Australia, they'll give you the top, and they'll hold the bit that you're about to put your mouth on. Like it's disgusting. Like it's the standard is so much higher where you guys are.
Well, that's because a lot of us are pussies. You guys are a little bit harder than we are down there in,
Oh
the great down yonder. I mean, it's just it's a weird place, man. I
God,
think if people just part of the problem is with how tribal people are. It's like it's hard, I guess, for other people to accept how fucking weird other people are, because then they got to
yeah.
accept how weird they are. It's a fucking mess, and you can see just watch our political system try and work, and it's like you're just what the fuck. I mean, if our political system was a dog, it would have been euthanized a long time ago. The ideas behind it are great, but the people who get to run it are just trash. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's a lot of places too. I mean, um, and everywhere's political systems. I was talking to somebody from the UK not too long ago about like Parliament. And, I
Mm,
don't know if you've ever seen the videos of Parliament laughing at the Prime Minister. Like that shit's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I
Our
love that.
parliament's modeled on this, so we have the
Yeah,
exact
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it creates a generally more efficient government, I think. I don't know. Fucking who knows? I'm stupid, so I don't really
Yeah.
think I should be deciding our country's political system or anything. But I know the way our shit is. It's fucking weird.
What I've always wondered, like, what is, or not wondered, I wondered over the last kind of 2 days, but what's this? How's everyone feeling after? Because you guys just had the DNC, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, how's that changed things? Like coming up to a potential election.
Man, it's complicated. It really depends on what you're willing to accept, I guess. It's kind of the point that most people in America are at, because nobody likes Trump.
Right.
Uh, Joe Biden clearly is aged, and whoever he picked, and I mean Joe Biden's got plenty of other fucking problems too. I mean, like his record on crime, especially against minorities and the poor people here in America, is pretty fucking horrible. Uh, People can
Right.
change, sure. I don't know, man. The person they picked, I don't think was a good choice for them. Some people in the people of color community are behind her. Some people are staunch about the fact that she's a cop and she has gotten years of joy and empowerment from jailing her own people. It's really, I don't know. For me, it didn't budge anything. I'm a spoken member of the U.S. Pirate Party. We're just like, fuck it all. You guys are all stupid. So,
Yeah, I think that seems fair though. Like I feel like a lot of people are like that in most of their systems. Their votes will sway every election.
well, it's most Americans see what fucks up America, right? Whenever it comes to the political system, is we've not only been convinced that there only needs to be two parties, we've actually been convinced that there are only two parties.
Right.
There's more than two parties. We still have a Nazi party. It is still a political organization in the United States, registered with the IRS and all that fun shit. There are divisions of their organization who have been labeled like terrorist groups and shit like that, but the actual like National Socialist organization still exists. So what the fuck? Like, you can literally vote for a Nazi if they wanted to run. There's a guy who wears like a fucking spaghetti colander on his head, calls himself a Pastafarian. I can't remember the guy's name. Some crazy, like, ridiculous off the wall shit. He's from Vermont, which is a pretty interesting state. They're different people for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, our whole system is fucking crazy, and people don't pay attention to it. They just pay attention to what the fuck they see, on their television, and they don't understand. Like, I just realized the Bruce Lee quote of "It's like a finger pointing away to the moon."
Yeah.
You concentrate on, the finger, you miss all the heavenly glory, right? And then that's where people are getting fucked up. Like, is our political system crazy? Yes, but you have no idea how crazy it is. Like, it gets
Right.
nuts. It gets fucking nuts. Kanye West is trying to run for fucking president.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, just ignore him. He's got a mental disorder. Kim's like crying on fucking Instagram, like, please don't egg him on. And it's just like this huge, like, it's a popularity contest now. And Congress, who holds most of the actual power, is corrupt as fuck with money. They've all been purchased. They've been in this fucking situation for years. They use the American system of generational wealth to keep themselves in power. There's tools that we as Americans can use to once again become a fucking amazing country. Trump wasn't wrong whenever he said we need to make America great again.
Right.
The problem is blatant racism and shit's really not the way to do it. And stuff, So I don't really like to fucking deal with politics, man. I don't really give a shit, to be completely honest with you, because at the end of the day, the only things that I have any control over is what goes on around me. At the end of the day, the government's still going to try and fuck me as much as they can. That's just when you have power, it corrupts you. That's just life.
100%. Yeah.
It's just fucking life, man. So
yeah, that's a great way to look at it, though. Like a great outlook.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fucking why? I almost had a heart attack, a couple of them in the past year from stress.
Wow.
Well, no, year and a half now, I guess. It's been a while. And I just was like, you know what? I can't really care about a lot of this shit that's really bothering me because I can't do anything about it. So fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to die for some bullshit. I'm not going to do it. But,
That's fair. That's very wise, I think.
Yeah, well, it's what happens when you eat a lot of hallucinogens and shit, I think, and you start to get old and, whatever.
Right.
Life's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Australia's fun, though. That's one place I've never been. I've been places that are somewhat similar, and I've certainly had a lot of Australian friends throughout my life, but I don't know. I want to go fuck with all the stuff that tries to kill you there. That's some of my favorite shit about Australia. I know it's like such a small portion of what your country actually is.
Right, yeah.
But as like an American, we're obsessed with like the horrible fucking things that you find, you know what I mean?
I will say it's incredibly overrated. Like when I say overrated, I mean like the stuff that can kill you, like it's pretty easy to deal with. Like, I'm not saying like I deal with it on a daily basis because I live in metropolitan Melbourne. So that compared to the Northern Territory and Queensland, which is what I guess is the thing that we kind of market, as in like the reef and the snakes and the spiders and uluru and the like.
Right.
Those things are still like they're pretty manageable. Like if you just don't touch it. If you could put it outside. Like you'll see videos like celebrities and stuff living in their houses. Like I think Chris Hemsworth's done it a few times. Grab the snake, put it outside. He knows what to do. You're
Yeah.
just responsible with it. You're responsible with it. But also like if you want to go provoke a brown snake or whatever, mate, that's your call. Like it's like I'm sure there's a story there. Like it doesn't really work for most of us here. But if that's what you want to do, by all means.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Americans have this weird thing. We just like run headfirst into shit because I've watched a lot of videos of people doing. There was one a guy was chronicling his attempt to rid his house of redbacks, and it's like I found 19 more in the garage. Fucking bastards just won't stop coming in here, and I'm just like, man, that's fun.
Yeah.
There's like, we have a bunch of shit here that's not good for you. I mean, fucking, everybody wants to talk about like snakes and shit. Coyotes in America will eat your ass if they think they can
that
take you
sounds
fucking
crazy.
down. That and they don't give a fuck. They will, like I don't know how many like I love these Ring cameras now. Like I don't ever want one, and it makes me feel weird knowing I'm always being recorded by somebody's front door. But like every
Right.
now and then they get like videos of like an animal running across the yard and like a cougar just chasing it down and just like grabbing it and just walking off, and you're just like, what the fuck in a neighborhood? That's crazy.
See, that's what you guys think we are, but that's legit. Like a coyote, like things that could rip you limb from limb. That's
Right.
way more dangerous than venomous stuff that we've got. Like we've got nothing really.
Yeah, most of your guys' shit wants to leave. Like the only thing I think you guys have that's like super aggressive is like the funnel web spider. I know those are pretty aggressive.
But yeah, they're lethal, but you don't see much of them.
They're fucking hardcore, man. And the brown snakes are pretty bad, from what I think. Right, but I mean, like, we have this awesome spider called the brown recluse.
Yeah.
And it's not like so this little bastard, it's the only in anything that I kill without intention of eating. It's the thing I got, right? That's my rule. Like if I kill it, I eat it, otherwise I don't have any right to fucking rob anything of the natural process of order. Well, it's not fucking with me. I'm gonna leave it alone. Fuck it. I'm an outdoors kind of guy. I can handle it, but these brown recluse bastards, they hide, which, black widows, a bunch of other spiders hide. Not a big deal. The problem is they like to like really, really hide. So they don't like to bite you. They would generally run from you. But they like to hide like in your bed.
Oh, mate.
Right?
No.
Like places like that, like warm, super dark spots where like nobody during the day is going to fuck with it. You know what I mean? Just safe little. So you like go to bed and you'll just like roll over on the motherfucker and it bites you because it's like, what the fuck? Ah! And then your skin rots.
Oh.
Right? And like you spend like 2 years like having to go to the hospital like once a week so they could like pack it with gauze and pull it out and shit. Then it's like a fucking hellish process. You get left with like this nasty fucking, right? Like there's no reason that should exist. Why? That doesn't need to be there. That's like one of the only things on the planet that just really doesn't fucking need to be there. Like it's too small to really be a good part of the food chain, right? Like fuck that. Fuck those things. They live in houses. There's like no real predator for these motherfuckers except for black widows.
Yeah, man, that's haunting.
Fuck that. Fuck those things. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
Far out.
Yeah,
I get that.
And everybody thinks Australia's gonna fucking kill you. You guys just have like a concentration of super deadly shit.
Yeah, but then we like market it. Like that's how containable it is, that we can be like, let's make a wildlife park and we'll bring people. Like if it's containable, it's not that. Like maybe things like maybe things like dingoes and stuff where they have to build fences and stuff because farmers like their cattle or something will get ripped apart or whatnot because dingoes are quite they're like a aggressive they're an aggressive dog. It's as simple as we put it.
Yeah. We fucking import those motherfuckers to the United States as pets because we're fucking crazy people.
They do look adorable though.
Have you ever heard that thing about a dingo eating a baby? Let's get one. They look cool.
Yeah.
It's like the state of Texas has more endangered wildlife than like almost the entire rest of the world. You know, like there's more tigers in Texas than there
Oh
are in
yeah,
the
of
wild.
course. Yeah, because you
Because
guys
like
can sell
they
them.
don't,
Yeah.
yeah, well in Texas they don't have like exotic animal laws. They're just like, fuck it.
All right, that's crazy.
Right. So, you know, if you want a tiger, move to fucking Texas. You can have 10 of them. Apparently you can have like whole tiger zoos in Oklahoma and be a gay tweaker who tries to convert other people to be gay tweakers with you. Just want to pet the tigers. Like, it's fucking, man, America's so crazy.
It's a land of great opportunity.
Dude, I love this fucking place.
Yeah. It's a fantastic place.
Yeah, it's a shithole. It's a complete fucking shithole. I mean, like half of it's a fucking dumpster fire sitting on top of the shithole. Literally right now. I mean, like we have like whole cities that are just, you know, still burning with fucking protests and shit. It's got like it's gone on for so long that the media's like, we can't even cover this shit to piss you off anymore because you're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
We're doing stuff. Just keep going.
Yeah.
If they stop doing stuff, we'll be back out there with you. But we're doing stuff. It's crazy. Some of the places like they're like half the police forces have quit and shit over all this.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Puts them in a tough position, I guess.
Well, whenever you're like if you look at some of the most commonly used post police school training material, it's fucking violent, man. There's like one of the top classes in the United States for determining use of lethal force, right, in stressful situations. Basically starts off, so if you think you're going to be threatened, just shoot him.
Far out, yeah.
All right, it's fucking crazy. Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think.
yeah.
I don't think. No. Yeah, fucking crazy.
Yeah, I get that 100%. Yeah.
But on the bright side, like, you know, in New York now they're doing comedy on rooftops. We're doing horrible shows here in Ohio. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. It's just hard with all the regulations and shit.
So you're back to live? Like you're back to your
Yeah, I just the day that we're recording. I mean, these get released later, as our audience members know. But I mean, last night I did it. I was at a show, just a little competition, and I mean, it was last month when they held it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Looked good. A friend of mine won the contest, and he was like, "Hey, we should all go up and just kind of take over the show. You know what I mean? Have a good time. Fucking run the bit. Just whoever wins. Fuck it." Well, our governor decided that bars are not allowed to serve alcohol after 10.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's last call.
Thing?
Last call. Yeah. Because, you know, the more drunk you get, the less mask you wear, which is true.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
You know, so he's just trying to limit exposure. You know, the way it's weird having a governor who's like hardcore anti-abortion, but is also like, I mean, you guys got to have some freedoms. Like, you know, we can't make you wear a mask in between bites of your food. That's just ridiculous. You know, just, you know, when you walk in and you walk out, like he's micromanaged the COVID rules to a point to where like it's really not that bad, you know?
Yeah.
But some of this stuff is just fucking like, damn. So you can have a normal show, you just can't have alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. But also like like the crowd still draw? Because obviously you've got less people. Is it easier to
Well, yeah,
sell
our
out
show.
now?
Nah, man, our show fucking started at 6:45 last night.
Oh wow.
People were
How long do you
starting
run for?
9:30.
So you stay within the alcohol kind of last call. Yeah.
Yeah, basically when last call hit, we were just like, that was pretty much it. That
Yeah.
was, and that's whenever people started showing up, and you know.
Yeah.
But before that rule was instituted, man, I had quite a few good shows. I had like 3 or 4 really good ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
But one of the main comedy clubs here keeps like saying, "Hey, we're gonna have these shows," and they're like, "Nope." It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess it's hard because like they're playing on the well-being of their customers as well as their comics. It's like two different crowds to please, I guess.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning behind what they're doing because one city here in Ohio, I haven't seen or heard or anything of a show that has been done that wasn't handled properly, right?
Right. Yeah.
Um, there are other cities here in Ohio who literally like don't really just the show runners don't fucking care because the owners of the venues just don't fucking care. So it's just they said in the very beginning at some point we have to get 60% of the people to catch this shit or else there's no chance of herd immunity.
Yeah.
So, they basically are gearing us up so we all get it because it's the easiest way to deal with it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But
So
people
like,
aren't. No one's fucking thinking about that. They have missed that fact and have just focused on they want us to wear masks and they say it doesn't protect us, it protects other people. Fuck that. It's shit like that.
yeah.
It's
So like people are holding out to like not get it and hope for a vaccine rather than like, well, I guess that makes sense too because like at the same time there's people like there's a chance of death if
well,
you
they
do get it.
wanted they wanted it to be a long game because obviously the longer it was around, the more they would learn. The
Mm.
easier it was to cope with things, as far as like numbers. Uh, And in the state of Ohio, we've never hit a point to where like our ICU beds were critically manned. You know what I mean? Like we've never hit that spot yet, where it's fucking overwhelming hospitals and shit.
Right.
Uh, but they're trying to long game it. The man's not handling it bad. I'm not mad. That's what sucks. It's like you want to be frustrated because if there were more shows, there would be more money. Granted, it's not a lot of money because it's all local shows and all that shit.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like how many people are going to survive? Like businesses, how many clubs are going to survive?
Mm.
It's fucking. You like the things that they're doing in New York, the park shows, the rooftop shows are cool.
Yeah,
I've had a
I've heard
friend do
about
quite a
those.
few. God, in the pictures are so beautiful, dude. You're just like
Yeah.
chilling up on this tar roof in fucking Manhattan. Like, God, it's awesome.
Absolutely. And do you think that'll stick around like once this all comes back? Like
I bet it
rooftop shows will be an
does,
attraction?
man. I
Yeah.
really bet it does. Like, even though like you hear a lot of, I hear a lot of, especially more professional comics say things like, "I hate outside comedy. It sucks." And all that. If you're on a fucking roof, it's pretty badass. It's like a small little intimate setting. You're not gonna
Yeah.
get like 500 people on a roof.
Mm.
Um, you know, fuck, it's a good venue. Why
Great place
not?
to work out material. Yeah, that'd be so interesting. Could do it
Yeah,
special on a roof. Yeah, sounds great.
yeah, wow, yeah, fucking roof dive. Uh, you see a lot of really cool. I don't know. I've seen a lot of really cool things coming out of this. The Zoom stuff is weird to me.
Yeah, I found that really hard. I haven't done that many. I've mainly done state ones, like US ones, just to build connections, really.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's just a different kind of muscle.
Feels more
Like
like a monologue.
the people I've known who I've seen who like actually did well. with it, I think. Are more like trying to do like an act, you
Right.
know. Like the guy I always think of, I can never remember this fucking guy's name. I'm fucking horrible with this shit. But he does like this bit every time I've seen him do anything. It's like this bit where he's got like a dry erase board sitting up here beside him, you know.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
Dimitri
mean?
Martin.
Yeah, Dimitri, that's the guy. And he fucking
Yeah,
wears different hats and shit, and he like puts
yeah,
his like tags up on there and he points at him, and it's fucking that's awesome, man. That's so
yeah,
funny because he's just like being as absolutely ridiculous as Pat. Like that shit, I think works great for these kind of Zoom
yeah.
shows.
Absolutely.
But trying to do stand up, like eh.
It really does feel like you're doing like a piece to camera, and it would make a difference if you were live or not. Just as long as they play it back, it's kind of like there's really no stage presence there. It's more like an energy kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you have to like Tom Green would do great
Yeah.
Zoom shows. You know what I mean?
Oh,
If
I
he
can
was,
imagine.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean? If he was, but like that kind of thing, like, and what's really crazy is like some of these hosts that I've seen are like incredible hosts.
Mm,
And then the comedians just go up and it goes from like, because the hosting is being performed as an act, you know?
yeah.
It's weird. It's
I mean, do you
weird.
feel like the hosts in a way, like I know the hosts I've done shows with, so like I've done mainly with flappers in Burbank, California. Like the hosts that, like, do you think that with that amount of uh, maybe not stage time, but Zoom time, they've come to figure out what actually works in that setting? Like, surely they've got a method to Zoom itself as opposed to
Oh
being
yeah, I'm
regular.
sure. I personally stopped doing it early enough on. You know what I mean? For it's just, but I didn't. It didn't feel right for me. No matter what I tried, no matter where, and I mean it. I told one joke that apparently wasn't as offensive as I thought it was, but I was like mortified after I told it, and I was like, how that did not go over well. I but
Yeah.
I saw you can't gauge anything in my opinion,
No, you're right.
you know. Um, and for the people who can, fuck yeah. But I'm not that guy. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
It's a tough environment, but yeah, if it's, I think like, yeah, if it's something you want to do it. But like, yeah, I haven't done any since like May either, so I'm still pretty early on. Might go back, but it's a tough environment.
And I don't want to. And at the end of the day, I just don't want to take away from the people who are really succeeding at it. You know, I don't want to
Right.
take that spot away from the people who feel good. I've got my podcast, man. Like I've got an out, basically. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, I can make these things as funny as I want or as what the fuck ever. It could just be a simple conversation. Whatever the fuck I want it to be, you know? So
Yeah.
I have an outlet. I don't, and plus once we, you know, in May 1st, whenever the live shows started up here again here in Ohio, I saw even less point of doing it. Because I'm like,
Right.
why, when I can go on a stage, I mean, there's open mics going on, booked shows. I mean, we're back to the whole gamut. The only place that's really not open is the large chain club. It's in Ohio, the Funny Bone.
Yeah.
And they're still posting shows, but like a friend of mine's show just got canceled. It's like, well, what the fuck? I
That's
don't.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but I know like there's a really good club in Dayton that's still doing shows.
Yeah.
I should be doing one in September. Um,
They're planning. So they're planning pretty far ahead. Yeah. Like to just be on top of it.
well, yeah, and there's so many of us who want in. We're like, please, please.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
My first show back was a competition for the fireworks and shit. There, and it was like $25 to get in, and my wife was like, "You're paying to get on stage," and I'm like, "I just don't fucking care."
Yeah. At this
I
point, yeah.
just, I was like, I just want that validation back. And then afterwards, like I was sitting there like just so bummed that I didn't know when the next one was gonna happen. It was like Guys, it's a fucking part of why I don't want to do. I'm starting to get to where I don't want to do the live shows anymore until things normalize, unless it's like, show booked far in advance or something. Dude, man, that letdown whenever you don't know when you're gonna have the opportunity really for the next one because of the way shit works out, and it's just like, fuck, it's almost easier just not to do it.
Yeah, but I guess like stage time at this point is so valuable. Like I know it's a long time between sets, but like it's interesting, and also the time, like the time we're living in. Some things might not click, might click now, that might not click later. So working out material might be hard, but I think it's still worth it. It's still, like you said, it's just if it's there to be taken, you got to do it. I think it's so good.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. I'm at the point to where I'm definitely limiting myself, just because I'm getting wary again. People, I don't know. You can kind of tell here in the States whenever shit's about to get weird, because people start getting like really restless, and
Yeah.
I got this new bit I'm working on after the other day, and man, I got mad at these people last night at this show. I was like, come on, that's fucking funny. How do you guys not laugh at this shit? It's like, have you heard about the fire tornado we just had?
Yeah, I heard about that. That sounds
Yeah.
crazy.
So the first one in human history, right?
Yeah.
EF1 tornado of fucking fire. And I was like, at first I thought the earth was just really pissed off at us, which given the rest of the year, I guess what makes sense.
Right.
And it was like burning us up and vacuuming up the ashes to kind of just fuck the planet up a little bit more to get rid of us faster. And then I was like, wait a minute, this happened in Northern California. Oh, this is really bad because Mother Nature basically just got really fucking high. Like, wait till you see what's coming next, motherfuckers. It's like, yeah, that's totally what happened because that fire tornado probably burned up a lot of fucking weed.
Yeah, well, I feel like a fire tornado. Out of all the things that's happened this year, how things get worse and worse as years, like time has gone on this year. If someone had to go, oh, let's predict what happened with next, a fire tornado would be like a thought a kid would have. Like, what do you think's gonna happen next, Billy? Oh, a fire tornado, and then a fire tornado actually came through. It's just like, man, it's like everyone's having a laugh. Like that's crazy.
Would like Jaws is real? One of the guys that I've interviewed recently was a guy who's rebuilding the Orca from Jaws to be like a shark research vessel out where Jaws was filmed, like Martha's Vineyard and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they have like this huge great white population now that's eating seals and taking bites out of people and shit. Like a lady just died a couple weeks ago, got eaten by a great white. They just found a seal that had some bites taken out of it on the beach like 2 days ago. It's fucking crazy. Like Jaws, like all this crazy shit. It's fucking look, man. The movies tried to warn us.
Yeah. I mean, like the only time the coronavirus is in the headline here is when there's a shark attack, and usually the shark attacks are in Queensland, so we don't get them like on our news in Victoria. But when they're on, like it's just like there's always somebody who lives to tell the tale, and there's always footage nowadays. Everyone's got their phone. It's like, do you want to see a shark attack in real time? They're like, yeah, just play it. We've started playing it already, so why not watch it? Like it's just like might as well happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, I listened to a Rogan podcast not too long ago that was like with this guy that fucking does all this crazy shit with sharks and shit. Was it Rogan? Fuck. I consume too much fucking content. Pretty sure it was Rogan. Maybe it was the fighter and the kid. It was one of those two. I don't know. It was badass. Like, this guy was fucking crazy. He was like, yeah, no, you just like swim at it. And I'm like, what? I'm just sitting here like fucking jaw hanging open. He's like, yeah, man, if a great white just starts swimming at you, swim at it. They don't expect that shit. They're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? You're coming at me? Oh no, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want that. He's like, and you just push him away. And this is a motherfucker whose leg got taken off by a fucking shark.
Yeah, how credible is his information?
There was whenever he was in the fucking Navy too. I think he's from like New Zealand to Australia or something. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah. Well, we had a guy a few years ago. I remember because I was still at school. Surfer Mick Fanning fought a shark on live TV. Like he was in South Africa, and a shark attacked him, and then a wave came over, and then the shark was gone. They asked him, like, what happened? He's like, I punched it. We were like, no way. Like, what a legend. Punched a shark in the head. And like that made it swim away. And I remember like that was all we talked about at school that day. Like we had a journalism class at school for like a select few group of kids, and they're like, "You want to write a story? Well, in real time on television, a bloke punched a shark in the head. So go have fun." We were like 15. It was a day, man. It was a great day.
I don't know. Apparently, you're supposed to not really punch them. You just like push really hard. Because I mean, if you're underwater, you're not gonna be able to punch as well. It doesn't have it's not the punch that does it. Like everybody gets sucked into the punch. At least this is what this guy was saying. Like,
Yeah.
because I punched a fucking shark. Yeah, fuck you. You know? Who the fuck have you hit? Your mom? Fucking bitch? Like, but he was like, they don't like the extra sensory perception on their nose. So if you just push it, they'll move away. The problem is like the mouth of serrated teeth that it uses to test if you're edible or not. Like, they're really close to each other. So, fuck that. Nah, man.
Because they
like,
use the echolocation to hunt and then they eat you. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and most shark attacks, for the reason people generally survive them, is because, they're just curious. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, I don't normally eat that. Nah, I'm good. And they swim off.
That's how life ends. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're like, fuck. Because one of the things he talked about was like, they drained like a liter of his blood or something, and he jumped into the water with a bunch of great whites, and then they basically just dumped his liter of blood into the water, right? And he had to basically swim up through his blood from like the bottom where they dropped the shark cage to, right? So he had to swim through his blood and the great whites and shit. And like, he was like, it was cool. They wouldn't even pay me any fucking attention. Like, they didn't give a fuck about my blood. They didn't give a fuck about me. He was like, it was fucking chill. And I'm thinking, nope. And he was like, and then they threw in all the fish guts and they went fucking crazy.
Man.
Double nope.
Yes, no, yeah. If somebody said, "Oh no, that's definitely," you can't predict that. Like to drop in a cage and go, "There's blood and there's me," but nah, of course.
Well, he did it for like the Discovery Channel to prove like it's not our blood that they're into; it's the fish blood. Like, that's why like menstrual women don't get assaulted by sharks whenever they swim. Like, even if they're bleeding, you know what I mean? Like, as vulgar as it sounds, like if you're in the fucking ocean, it's probably gonna leak a little out or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know much about the mechanics, the period. I just know it doesn't look comfortable when my wife has them. But I'm assuming, something's got to come out. Would make sense if a shark was into our blood, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It teaches shark movies for you. See like blood in the water. You're like, well, actually, like that's one way to ruin a movie with your friends. Scientifically, that is not.
That doesn't even fucking matter. He's just
exactly. It's like, well,
why are you ruining Jaws?
Oh man, that's too funny.
Well, the problem is like most of the time it's like the surfers and shit because they look like seals. I mean, I don't know. I think seals probably taste good. They look like they would taste good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I ain't mad. I don't
look
get
fatty.
Yeah, I don't get in the ocean, so no big deal. No big deal for me. Well, brother, we need to be wrapping this up because I got a crap load more of them to do, and I definitely need this to process before we can get to the next one today. Is there, where do you want people to follow you at, Liam? I mean, you want social medias? Do you want the YouTubes? I mean, where can people find your stuff at?
Yeah, the YouTubes and the Facebooks I'm trying to get up at the moment. What the Facebooks? Look at me, sounded like an old ass person.
I do that to people all the time. I do it to people on purpose, dude, just to fuck with everybody. Because they're always like, the Facebook? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that person fell for it. That person, that's classic.
Everybody.
But yeah, YouTube and Facebook, I'm looking at getting up later this month. That'll be under my name, Liam Radi. But Instagram, yeah, you can find me at Liam_Radi. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, hopefully someday I'll be able to head down to the States and get to catch up on all the comedy circuits when everything's all good. But in the meantime, yeah, it's always a pleasure meeting new people from all the way here from Melbourne.
Cool. And since this episode's probably going to come out sometime in September, your stuff should be up and running. We'll throw the links for you guys in the description. Enjoy the rest of your day, Liam.
Perfect, Matt. Thanks for having me.
All right, bye, guys. All right. Is it going to stop or is it just going to keep going?